Hey guys, I'm at the Electric Bicycle Center. I was hanging out with Sam and I got to meet another customer. This is Kenny. How's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing really well. I met you and your wife the other day when you were looking at these folding electric bikes. We actually didn't have the EG Vienna at that time.
Right.
Sam was talking about it. He was like, oh, there's a new one with a bigger battery pack. In the meantime, we have the A to B. They're an electric bike company that's been around for a lot of years. This is a really cool folding bike. It's one of his favorites. That's what you ended up going with. But now that you've had a chance to ride them both, and you've actually commuted with that other one extensively, it sounds like, I wanted to get your just straight up feedback. What do you like? What don't you like? You know, why did you choose this one to begin with?
So this one, I really liked how it just looks to begin with. I like the design that it has. It looks really nice. I like the fact that they went ahead and did some, special covering here for the wires. So when I fold it, I'm not worried about are there going to get any kinks versus something
just
like
exposed.
This. Exactly. So that's really nice. I like how everything is. Well, especially these, like the pedals, they're metal pedals.
Yeah, it's like aluminum.
Aluminum. So these fold in real nice, and it's not too hard, but you can feel the difference. Especially those are plastic.
So they flex a little more when you're riding?
They do.
But however, this folds pretty nice. You were talking about this earlier.
So this one, you can kind of pull it in. It has this little mechanism where it's a little bit easier versus having to push the whole thing in and do that. So I like that about the Vienna, definitely. I've actually ridden this one. The odometer says 80 miles. So
80 miles in a week?
Yeah. So I
Nice.
do like a 28-mile round trip from work. So that's the principally that's the reason why I got the bike. I wanted something for a work commute, so it's 14 miles back and forth. It has a little cargo bay, which is really nice. I have a backpack with my laptop, lunch, and
do you put like a trunk bag, or do you put panniers on the side?
No, I put just the actual backpack in itself. So I fold it up, and then I actually have a
like a bungee or something.
Like a bungee cord, yeah. So I just strap it right up in there.
Sounds awesome.
Battery. You know what? I was wanting to go with something like the Vienna because the battery is inside, it's enclosed.
Yeah, it's nice looking.
It looks really nice and slick. And I was concerned with whether or not this was going to be an issue, but this, surprisingly, is actually pretty nice. I like how it's a little bit sleeker from here, and to take this off is really just, it has a lock, a little key mechanism, you pop it right off. And it really isn't too much going on.
It still looks pretty protected too, like the frame kind of protects it, even though it's like not internal like that one. Has it felt, I mean, this is more rear heavy. Has that been an issue folding or lifting it?
Not so much. Folding it takes a little bit.
What has been an issue? Like, what are some of the challenges?
So something for me that I really didn't like too much about the bike is, so my commute, it is mostly street, but it can get a little bumpy sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was having an issue with the chain dropping.
And this is a chain guide. Like, did that come with it? Like these metal pieces that keep the train. Is this normal? This is stock?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so up here, this isn't falling off.
No,
it's back here.
It is back here, and you know what? Actually, I had to recently replace this because it was actually dropping from the front too.
It was.
So, and it was dropping from here. I got to the point where I actually had to bring it in because it got stuck right in between the
lowest sprocket and the chain stays and the seat stays.
Right in here, and I could not move it without obviously loosening
that's a bummer. Do you have to charge at work, and how much battery remains?
Okay, that's a great question. So I usually leave it on pedal 1 assist just so I can get a workout, but on the hills, I kick it up to maybe a 3 or sometimes 5 if I want to.
Okay, yeah, that's the idea, right?
Which is something nice that this bike has. I like the fact that this has an odometer. It's got a nice display. I can shift between levels there up to 5 and then turn it off if I want to versus something like this where
like an LED console.
Exactly. So
low, medium, or high. So you do have 3 levels, but it's just not as precise.
No, and I don't mind it, but I like this one better. The one on the A.
I also noticed this has a nice front light and possibly a rear light.
It does have it, and it's actually from the battery itself, so I don't have to.
They're wired in. Yeah.
I don't have to worry about replacing batteries or turning a switch on each of them.
This is feature complete, right? You got everything you need. Okay, so I'd ask like how far you go, how do you charge, and all that stuff, and we got excited. We skipped past it. So what was the deal?
So I do carry the charger with me.
In your backpack?
In my backpack, which sits here with my laptop and stuff like that. But I carry it with me, and technically I could go and come back from work on a full charge. Since I use a low level of pedal assist, maybe 1 or 2 max, I get to work after 14 miles with about 80% battery still left in the juice.
That's a lot, yeah.
So it's still a lot. On last Friday, I rode it almost on 5 the entire 14 miles, and it went down to 72%. So
okay.
It's not that bad. So I just fold right under my desk. This is perfect, and I just plug it up right next to my computer at work, and what, an hour and a half later, 2 hours, I don't even pay attention. It's green, and I unplug it, fold it back in.
Sweet.
And so same thing when I get home, plug it up. And so I thought because of the smaller battery than the I was also reviewing the Ebike.
Oh yeah, the Ebike
right?
and the Ebike SE, yeah.
The Ebike SE. That one has the newer model has a little bit bigger battery, so I was concerned whether or not it would make it, and no, I haven't had a problem at all.
Awesome, awesome. It's great to hear that it's making it for you. And how about hills? Have you had any big struggles?
Yeah, so on my commute there are a few hills that I go to, but this thing takes it like a champ. I do have to move it up.
Trigger throttle. Do you use that very often?
So I had to use it when my chain derailed.
Yeah, that's nice to have. Right?
Yeah,
it's a great
it went off and it got stuck on me at maybe 7 miles, so halfway in through my commute. But I used the throttle the rest of the way, and definitely having it was a lifesaver at that moment, because if it was just strictly pedal assist, I don't think I would have
been carrying the bike or something.
Yeah, so this thing, and it kept on. So on full blown, I think I did do 7 miles straight on the throttle.
Wow.
And it got down to maybe 50% or something like that. So it still kept in there. So
sweet.
It wasn't that bad.
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, battery's good.
So this is the Kuo Plus. Was there a price difference between that and the EG?
Yeah, I think this one is $150 cheaper, the Vienna, and then this one.
So they're both still like kind of in that affordable range, right. But $150. Considering some of the upgrades that you get, this does seem pretty nice. I was looking at this. There's plastic fenders on both of them.
Right.
You got very similar the folding mechanism right there, and at the front, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. Even the brakes on both of these are sort of the linear pull V-brake.
Right.
Shimano Alivio versus Acera. So similar component group, 12 magnets versus that one has like a little. How did they ride? How did they compare? Is it the same feeling?
This one, because it has looks like a slightly bigger
chainring.
It's a nice cadence, right? So it's not too. You're not spinning out too much. It feels good.
Yeah.
This one does too. I mean, I don't see too much of a difference on those. Because I've been riding this one, I know how it feels now more.
Yeah.
So I'm getting accustomed to it.
And this seat that you got this, right?
Yeah, I actually had to do a little bit of upgrade. Yeah, I don't have the actual seat that it came with. It looks something similar like this. It's a little bit narrow, and for 14 miles, it's kind of hurting. So,
painful.
Yeah, I swapped it out with this, and it's a little better. It's definitely a nice little upgrade.
So you're happy with that? I mean, my understanding initially was that like, hey, this one's available. I need a bike. Okay, we'll take it. Are you still happy with it? I mean,
yeah, definitely. So coming back to it, I came back to check out this new one, which Sam said that he would have.
Yep.
And I'm still gonna stay with this one because I love it. I like it. If it just would be a little bit better with the way that it changes up and down the gear, so it wouldn't derail as much. Sam has been so helpful too, staying even after hours to help me. So
and to their, to jump in here, right?
Yeah.
So this is just straight up, like, no one's paying us to do this. It's fun to just get a perspective and be kind of candid about the experience. Sam has spent a bunch of time with this, and that's part of buying from a shop versus buying online. You get that kind of extra support. They spent, I don't know, an hour or maybe even more.
2 hours.
Almost 2 hours today. Figuring this out, calling A to B, and we're not trying to trash on A to B or anything. They were like, oh, we don't have this happen very often, but when you look at it, the chain is right up here, and it's this extra large chain ring, and then you've got this cassette in the back, and the chain goes up and down, and that pulls, it kind of stresses in the middle. And so when you're on a smaller bike like this, where maybe you go over bumps, there's not as much, it's not spanning the cracks as much, it's a little bit more potential for dropping the chain.
Yes.
But they did look at a part that they replaced the chain ring, you were saying?
They
so
did,
it lines up a little better now?
It does line up. I just tested right now, and I hit it hard. So fingers crossed, that's going to fix it, or at least improve my ride.
Awesome.
We'll know in another 80 miles or so.
I can't wait. Yeah. It'll hopefully, and if you come back, he'll work with you or something like that. But yeah, for the full write-up on both of these, I'll be reviewing that one soon. But ElectricBikeReview.com is a site. Do you have any shout-outs or fun things?
No, I mean, your website helped me a lot, so thank you for that.
I do my best. I'm glad you're happy with it.
Definitely. Thank you.
Later, Kenny.
See ya.